Ever since I was young, I had these crazy dreams of winning the Powerball. I grew up watching my parents check their numbers every week and unfortunately never getting those lucky numbers. So ever since I was little, I had these crazy ideas of what I wanted to do with my earnings. I wanted a McDonald's in my house like Richie Rich and this huge Olympic-sized pool in my bedroom. But as I grew older, I realized those were unrealistic expectations. And now, if I win the lottery, I know exactly what I would do with my earnings. The first thing I would do is travel the world. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and unfortunately, I was never able to because finances were holding me back. The second thing I would do is to create a financial future for my parents. Growing up, they worked really hard to give me everything that I wanted and needed, and I hope that I could do the same thing for them one day, and winning the Powerball would allow me to. The third thing I would do would fulfill my dream of becoming a social worker. I've always wanted to be a social worker and help children, and if I had the money to back me up, now I could do it, while maybe treating myself to a few things here and there. So as soon as I win my Powerball check, I would leave America and travel the world. Like many of you, I agree, I would take all of the money in one big lump sum and put it in investments and things like that. So when I travel the world, the first thing I'd probably do is head over to Europe. I've always been interested in the Spanish culture over there, so I would definitely start with Spain. I've heard they have beautiful beaches and entertainment, and I would love to spend a decent amount of time over there. I would also visit Ireland and Italy. I've always been thrilled with the architecture and the art and the history in Italy, and I think there's so much to learn from Italians. The food and everything there, and I would really spend a decent amount of time there. Probably a few months, give or take, before heading over to South America, because I have family in Argentina that I've never been able to meet, and I think this would be a really good opportunity to visit the landscape over there. I heard it's a beautiful country. I could make my way up and spend some time in Brazil, and from there I could go up to Central America and maybe surf in Costa Rica and visit the Panama Canal and things like that. I've always wanted to learn cultures, and I have never been able to leave America. So that's definitely the first thing I would do. After I had my fun traveling the world, I would definitely come back home to Naples and set up a financial future for my family. Like I said earlier, my parents worked really hard my entire life. And because of that, they gave me a good work ethic and they gave me and my brother everything that we could ever want or need. We never had to worry about money growing up. So now that they're getting older, the biggest reward I think I could ever give to them is to reward them with everything they gave me, plus more. So winning the Powerball would allow me to buy them a house and pay off all of their debt that they've been acquiring these past few years because of my brother and I, and buy them a car and all the things they've ever wanted, but they were never able to have because they were too busy giving it to my brother and I. My brother also just graduated high school, and we all know the stress of school loans and school debt. And I know that if I was able to pay off his entire college tuition, that would be a huge weight off his shoulders, not only now, but 10 years from now. And he would be able to fulfill whatever dreams that he wants without having to worry about paying it all back in 10 years. So after settling my family and making sure they're financially secure, I would fulfill my own dream. I've always wanted to become a social worker, but unfortunately they don't make a lot of money. So I decided to go in a different career path. So I know that if I had millions of dollars in my bank account, I could finally do what I wanted. I specifically have always wanted to work with foster children, young children as well as maybe teenage kids who didn't have parents bringing them up and raising them the right way. And it's a really difficult transition for foster children from teenage years into adult life. And maybe I could make some type of organization to make that transition easier for them. And for the younger kids to be adopted into safe homes where they're not going to have to worry about the things that they've been worrying about their entire lives being on their own. I could maybe donate some money to Save the Children or the Do Something Foundation. And since I would feel so much better knowing that I'm helping others, I think that it would be a lot easier for me to treat myself. As far as going to the mall and buying myself those $100 pair of heels that I've never been able to afford before, I would be able to buy them without any guilt, and maybe a nicer car and a beautiful home on the beach that I've always wanted. So those are definitely the three things that I would do if I won the Powerball. It's something that I've thought about my whole life, and I'm going to continue to play in the hopes that maybe one day I'll win. So I hope that you all do as well, and good luck.